Arms reimagines the structures that once carried lives far and wide, now a frame for freedom to move, play, explore. The bars are black metal, patches of silver gleam through, worn by working hands. From Ledan's chair, a metal tail grows. Steel curves like a question, solid, scaffolding, strong. Piece by piece, the group unload the rottes, pins releasing, extra bars sliding free, unpacking from their journey. Ledan wheels forward, the tail gliding loose like an unhitched wagon. Pass between the group and stored, for now. Ledan stays in the center. Tilting back, hands grab the metal frame that shields his wheels, head twitching like a bird scanning the space. He walks his fingers down his chair, reaching out. Wheels drop free and he shifts directions, turning with arms sweeping wide like a wing, or a scythe through grain, creating pathways, hands carving space where none existed. Palms touch the ground, his chair, his wheels, the ground again to turn himself. Tilting back, hands grasp metal, head twitching, alert and electric. He gestures behind, then ahead. Through motion, he tells of where he has been. Reach, tilt, flicker, swipe, arch, hang, scuttle. We meet, not to clash nor erase, we mix, becoming more. Lily takes her turn, speaking of a land full of fire, arms unfurling, rising slowly and meeting overhead. Tracing curved pathways, a softness lives in her spine as she spirals. Her leg extends high, wraps, whips. Fingers flicker and curl like flames, delicately searching as she corkscrews, wrapping and unwrapping. The group watches, basking in the heat of her story. Sparking and skimming, she whips round and round and round, building, burning, restless, reaching. Coiling in arcs, she jumps spinning through the air. Swipe, turn, carve, pull, catch, flame, ripple. We meet, not to break or to bend, but to merge, becoming more. Now Emily stays center. Arms ripple upwards, caught on a breeze. Momentum gaining, arms windmill, soon released. A breathless pause, suspending in flight. She spirals, a tornado full of arms and legs. Soft limbs picked up and placed down in gliding arcs. Fast hands posting letters to the sky. In a conversation with the wind, she listens and replies. Arms catch a current, lifting skyward as her face follows, body soft and waving like a flag in the breeze. She rides the air like a whisper, drifting across familiar ground. She slows, ebbing and flowing, stepping forward, winding back, calling the others in. Cave, flick, turn, swipe, jump, ripple, skim. We meet, not to interrupt, but to join, inviting in, becoming more. Christian replies, His hand twitches, grasping as he sinks to a crouch. He scuttles low into crevices unseen. Feet scuff and sweep, grounding him with force, moving with power to pull, swivel, and explode outwards. Arms reach like strong vines, but there's a softness, give and take, head leading as he swoops up and down. Leaping in a whirl of long legs, he pauses, hand brushing the ground, reading signs in the dirt, before bursting upwards, leg kicking high, moving between hard places, swirling to stand. He barrels through the air and crashes back to earth. Spark, fold, swirl, unfold, wave, gather, slice. We meet, not to dominate or divide, we blend, becoming more. Yannick speaks of water and waves. He lunges, arms spreading wide like ink fluid, formless. Then hands retract, shattering, spinning. Movement slice sharp as cracking ice. Head turning softly, an iceberg drifting in his vision. He spins like a whirlpool, legs kicking, hands fluid. Hunched over, he rocks in small circles and skims to the floor, prowling forwards on all fours. Rising, his eyes drift across the horizon. He skims, crawls, an animal at the water's edge, standing, eyes drifting, seeking. Swirl, jab, slice, grab, pull, reach, release. We meet, circling in the center, not to flatten difference, but to fold it in, becoming more. We follow, stretching into a single file line. And Nadan leads, at the head of the line. The others far behind, vertebrae in a long spine. Echoes, Nadan's echoes, filter down through the tail. A concertina expanding, an accordion breathing, the same wind blowing through them, like grass bending in unison. Hand to shoulder, a single current shared. Hand to shoulder, they follow Nadan's trail as he turns, whipping this way. A mountain range of heads, peaks rising and falling. Reflecting the curves of Nadan's arms as he tips from side to side. He reaches to the ground and they follow. His hands stepping left over right. Feet stepping left over right. They unwind and flow onwards, striding the edge in a quiet procession. Gaining momentum as Nadan circles to the center. And settles onto his frame. They crouch low behind, eyes aligned, sharing the same line of sight. As he rises, they shadow, unfolding back into line. He wheelies and shunts. They bounce behind, tracing the bumps in the road. travel, they signal, in cannon arms rippling up down the line. Arms and legs sweep, legs swing like pendulums. Arms sweep, legs swing, arms sweep, legs swing. Arms sweep, legs swing, arms sweep, legs swing, arms sweep, legs swing. Leaning forwards, heads lowering in unison. Arms sweep. A quiet procession. They spiral into flight. Wide-winged, circling like birds. A shaking beat takes hold. We unfurl our hands like a flag caught in the wind. We break and reform with every breath. Hands tumble through the air, tough from work, storytelling in sweat and gesture. They crawl like ants on a march, purposeful and connected. Between them, joy building as the music grows. Across the space, a trio swirls, chasing each other's spins playfully. They shimmy to the ever-building rhythm. Emily steps onto the rotes, pushing away from the Dan as Yannick lifts her. She swirls high again as Yannick spins her on his shoulder. Pairings shift, revolve, dissolve. Christian sends Lily flying through the air in a series of gravity-defying lifts. She whirls above his head as they work together to find flight. Wheels and feet shift together, brushing the ground in pause. No one leads, they just move, sinking breath to beat, chasing rhythm like children chasing friends. Spin, crouch, sign our names on the ground. Rising up, pull back, every step together, landing like a drum beat. Lifted by Yannick and Christian, Lily arcs high. They swoop her back down, and the trio tangles. Lily tumbles, flipping through Yannick and Christian's arms. They crawl in sync again, hands pad up and down, drawn back into one another. They lift Lily high. Chasing the beat, the trio swells again. it spins. Holding hands, they create a line that the Dan pushes through. The center breeze ever changing. Now Lily unfurls arms like smoke, spine spiraling with heat as duets with daring lifts flicker at the edges. They lift Emily high, a gust rising. She takes the center as the others ripple outwards, circling her joyful conversation with the wind. Forming and reforming, they shift Christian as he sways forwards and back, the ground tilting beneath them. Christian steps into the middle, grounded and strong, scuttling low, sweeping wide, while duets spiral like satellites. The group reforms at the corner. Yannick teeters towards them in a zigzagging sway. He turns, opening his arms, and they catch him, surging him forwards, flowing back like a tide returning. Forming and reforming, Emily takes her turn to stagger, surfing on the crowd. The metallic beat strikes, driving and insistent. They lock in together with the beat until at the end. To rebuild. The group load up for the journey. Emily and Christian reattach the bars on the down sides. Yannick and Lily take care of the tail. Lily steps onto the tail, firm and light, her hands finding Yannick's. He pushes into her palms and they begin to sway and glide with the tail across the ground. Emily and Christian, perching their feet on the Roteza's small platforms, they push and push. A balancing act as they spin, connected together with Nadan. The tail snakes beneath them as Lily skates, fluid and unbroken. The trio, working together, cogs turning, a mechanism of momentum, pushing, spiraling, smoothly gliding. All of us moving together, like a Rotez we move onward, forward on steady wheels. The chair and the tail, magnets, itching to find their way back together. Lily holds tight to the tail, one leg rising, stretching skyward. She balances with her leg in the air like a mast as Yannick gently guides the tail in a turn. The trio spins and settles. We build the Rotez, piece by piece, attaching the tail onto the back of Nadan's chair. The frame takes shape beneath our fingers, spokes humming with anticipation. Each bolt fixed with care, together building what will carry us onwards. The tail locks in, the past fastening itself to the now. And we spin together. We revolve. We release. Nadan rides the Rotez, now facing the long tail. It extends from him like the yoke of a wagon. Wheels rattling through the passage of time, pulling history forward on solid axles. We are all held in place at the outermost edges as Nadan spins, a building whip of momentum. He pulls back, one hand holding the metal like reins, the other hand pushing his wheel, propelling himself into the turn faster and faster. The Rotez answering his rhythm, his wheels carving wide circles of freedom. Drawn round in the pull of his turning, we orbit, walking around the edge. As Nadan unbuckles his belt and sits back in his chair, he fastens his feet in, the yoke returning to a tail again. Centrifuge and ceremony, reeling through time together. The world rolls onwards in the rhythm of the wheels, a carriage, a cart, a wooden wagon swaying. And when we move, the ground remembers, moves in the dirt, whispers in the grain. A journey built by many hands, a wagon that carries more than weight. It carries us. Using the tail as a lever, Yannick and Christian tilt Nadan into the air. He rises and they glide together. Lily takes over, gripping a sidewalk. As they spin, the Rotez spirals into motion, the tail whipping. Emily, Yannick and Christian flatten themselves on the floor and rest. As Lily steadily follows Nadan, they reach up, bending back in a greeting to the sky. The group stirs again, drawn back in by the rhythm. They surge onward, circling fast, a patchwork blur. Yannick takes over. He pivots the rotes steadily back and forth, like a mechanism catching and shifting into gear, setting off a new rhythm through the group. Keeping low, they work in close coordination. Each adjustment met with balance, each effort met with trust. They crawl in a slow, swaying step, not hurried, but steady, a shared tempo. Stepping onto the tail, Nadan leads Yannick gliding through the air. Crawling forward in a slow, swaying step, bodies echoing each other's. Yannick rises on the tail, eyes scanning far on the horizon, his balance on the rotes held strong by Nadan's core. Yannick leaps off, looking back as Emily joins Nadan at the centre. The others orbit around them, echoing her light-bounding steps, springing, circling. They observe as Emily and Nadan move in tandem. Her circling steadies his centre. His head reflects the arch curl of her leg. With permission, we can hold, we can sit, we can roll, we can push, pull, pivot, ride it like rhythm, like waves, skating on many wheels. We sprint and we circle, kicking up the air like a rising storm. Then slowly, we draw together again in the center. We load the rotes, sitting on sidebars, gripping the tail. With consent, we ride, we rest and we move, we shift, steer, sway. Wheels press into concrete, ready to roll. With Nadan at the center, we ride on this wagon together. Each turn of the wheel, each step beside it, the choice to show up, to share the weight. With the tail like a lever, we lift Nadan in the air. Head high, we wheel onwards, a proud procession. With the rotes, we are ready to carve new stories into the road ahead. We share the load, not alone but together. This is how we move. This is how we make it ours. We build where we settle. We carry what matters. This is ours together. Our rotes. Rotes is a stopgap dance company production, choreographed by